right, we have that one and the chessboard. There we go. So I played a young gentleman named Andrew Pinnell. He goes to our local club here. Strong player who started before the pandemic and really gained a lot of rows really fast. He's currently 17-18 when I played him. And this was an exciting game. I had a really hard attack, and he had an amazing defense. So I'm really kind of excited about this game to go over it. And I know he's been asking and really excited to go over this. So I'm hoping that he gets a chance to see it. But I don't know if he's here. I did send him the stream saying that we were getting started. So hopefully he will be able to come hang out with us. What's the difference between the Dutch and the bird? I mean, it's almost the same opening. Yes, the bird is played from the white side, and the Dutch is played from the black side. So that's really the only difference. I think a lot of the plans and ideas are the same. The nice thing about the bird is that you're playing it with a tempo up. So I used to play it when I was younger, but the problem with the bird is that you can, if you start with F4 right away, you can get into all these crazy King's Gambit types of lines. And if you don't play it right away, if you don't play F4, then it turns into almost like a Grand Prix. And then you're not in a bird anymore. So I don't know all the ins and outs about it. It's not in my repertoire. So unfortunately, that's kind of a new... I've played it in the past, but that was 20 years ago. So yeah, it's totally different now. But okay, let's get into this game with Mr. Pinnell. And we played a symmetrical English. And I did get the chance to talk to him afterwards. We did do a post-game analysis, which was awesome. And we both had some pretty good thoughts, which was nice. I'm just kind of going through my normal Botvinnik English that I play. And he is deciding to kind of just control the middle squares without really committing to the center. And I think he's kind of waiting to see what white does. And here I feel like e5 was maybe a mistake. Maybe not a mistake, that's too strong. Maybe an inaccuracy. Mainly just because if you're going to play e5, why didn't you play it here? So you're already a tempo down as black. I feel like this is the one move. If you're going to play e6, the idea is to challenge the center immediately with d5. Just because otherwise you're wasting a tempo making that move. So I feel like this was a waste. Now he can also tell that I'm not really super committing to the center, but I'm guessing that he doesn't get to see, or he doesn't have a lot of people that play the English against him, because I don't think there's a lot of English players out there. And probably it's just an experience thing. The idea behind e5 is that now you allow f4, like immediately. And whereas instead, if we played it back here, you'd be a tempo up. And when we got to this point, I played here, this pawn would already be up here, and I wouldn't be playing f4. Couldn't play it yet. I think I still could, but then you wouldn't be reacting to it. There'd be another move in here. So it's just different the way it's played. Is it wrong? No, probably not. I feel it's probably fine. I'm just saying it's probably inaccurate to play it that way. Now, the idea behind playing e6 is the whole idea is to disrupt the center with d5, and it's hard to do. That's why I play the Botvinnik English, is because it's really difficult to get in d5, and if you do it, you have to do it well before this. But he played it really well, and he wasn't really committing too much to the center, and he even allowed f5 without too much resistance. And I made some normal moves. A lot of the plans and ideas are to get your queen and your bishop lined up so you can bring them through. We're going to bring the knight in here and start, moving things along. Now, I think what I should have done is I probably should have, instead of line my queen up, that was a wasted move, I believe. I believe this was an inaccuracy as well. I feel like what I should have done was immediately come up here to this. Because then, now I have this coming in, this, and then this. And I feel like that probably would have been playing for a little bit better of an advantage than the way I played it. A lot of times the way that you play this is against the King's Indian type of structure. And I don't have that structure, so it's kind of almost moot to do it this way. And it's better to have the queen on this diagonal than it is on this diagonal. I learned that from this game, actually. Now, I have played the English for a little while now, about 6 months or so. And I'm learning some of these little nuances now that I'm getting into more middle game planning and attacking. So I haven't had a lot of time with it, but now I've put a lot of reps into it the last couple of weeks, and I know that this plan's not, the plan that I started with is not ideal. And I've changed my idea. So that's why I think that playing here right away would have been a better way to go, because then we are protecting this. We can push and then push, and we got some nasty stuff coming. It's gonna be difficult to stop. I know the person playing black. Awesome. Do you happen to be his friend then from school? He said that you were gonna maybe be stopping by. This was a really fun game. I'm glad that I got a chance to play him against him in the championship, and we had a decent result. I had a draw. I felt like I still had winning chances. Right now, I still have winning chances. Oh, I happened to be him. Oh, well, that would be good. I didn't realize that was your your. I am not really good at pairing the names that are on Discord and Twitch and Twitter and putting them all together into one person, because nobody has all their names the same. They're all different, and I can't keep track of them. So my opponent is actually in the chat, which is amazing. So yeah, I learned a few things in the last couple of weeks since I played this game, which was, as you can see, about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. And I've learned a lot from him in this particular game, because I had a really strong attack and I wasn't able to pull it through. The IM. One day he will be an IM, I bet. So yeah, I really do think the other plan is better. So we tried this plan instead. And the idea is still to disrupt the king with pushing g5. And unfortunately, the problem that I have right now is that I have nothing defending this right now. So until he moves his knight, I am stuck. And this might have been a little bit premature, because then this happens. And this is a remarkably amazing defense. There's not really a way to crack through. I think better would have been the way that I talked about. which was just playing here. Let's just do that. And going on from here. Because if we, let's say we still make the same move. So instead, I'm on a little bit different deal here. And I played 14 knight g3, and he plays bishop f8. And now what we can do is we can play this move, h4. And even if he comes back here, he's only got 2 pieces on it. And I'll have 2 pieces on it, but this is going to be difficult to deal with, no matter what. Now, maybe you can get away with sacrificing a pawn, but this is nasty. I don't know really how to combat this. And if he doesn't move the knight, I'm gonna still make that same move with tempo then. So let's say if he decides to do a move like this, I think this still works, because now he has to move the knight. And if we trade off, now what? If he moves, he's only has 1 move. Then we're gonna bring the queen in, and yeah, this is a problem. So I felt like this probably would have been a better way to go. But we didn't go that way. I totally played this incorrectly. And I haven't done a lot of attacking as an English player. I'm usually letting them kind of make a mistake, and then I try to capitalize on it. But I'm working on trying to be more of an attacking player as a positional player. And I feel like this is becoming more helpful. Now, I feel like this could still have the potential to transpose. Unfortunately, it didn't, because if he did it this way, which is not good, yeah, this is just rough to deal with. No matter which way, if he decides to move any pawn, I'm going to lock it down, and now I have a straight target this way. So that's no good. He can't deal with that. And the king is very weak, and he has no way to get his pieces over, so he can't do that. That doesn't work. So this was most certainly the best defense. Now, how many times did I think I was going to win this game? When I got to this point, I felt like I had strong chances. At this point right here, if I get in f5 freely, I feel like I'm doing very well, because this is what I want, right? In the English, especially the Botvinnik, if I can get in f5 with no contention whatsoever, I feel like I have a strong way to win. So at least once. And if I get in even moves a little bit closer like this, before here, like right here, I felt like I still had chances. So maybe twice. Not to like blow you off the board or anything like that, but I felt like I had a strong attack, and I felt like it would be very difficult. You'd have to find a lot of really good moves to defend. I felt like I had a really good position, and it's going to be very challenging. I wouldn't say it's an outright win or anything like that, but I did feel as though I had very, very strong chances to have the initiative, and it was on me to make it so, and for you to stop me. I felt like you were going to be in full defense mode for a while, at least when I was at this point. So do I think it's winning? No. Had I played that other line, this type of line, yeah, this you can probably, I am wondering how you deal with this if we played this way. I'm curious to know what the evaluation is, but But yeah, I felt like I had really strong chances, and it was my game to mess up, and it was your game to have to hold on to, right? Um, I think even here, you probably would have started crying. Yeah, if I get those pawns. So what I've learned with after playing this game is I spent a lot of time doing a lot of reps in the English. Is trying to keep this pawn is ideal. Trading it off doesn't help unless I have the ability to get here and get a rooks on this file really fast. It's not ideal. It's better to have that pawn. So when you played f6, I was like, wow, that is. And here at this point, I was like, well, that's an extremely good defense, and I'm not exactly sure how best to deal with that. And me bringing the bishop back is the exact tempo that you need to be able to start your counter attacking. Now, to be fair though, going into here was probably a mistake. I feel. I felt like I moved really quickly here. What move is this? This is move 19. And on move 19, you played b5. Yeah, I moved really quick. I spent less than a minute on this move. I spent about a minute making this move, just thinking, oh, it's an outpost, whatever. This is great. But it's a useless move. I wasted a tempo, allowing you to be able to get in the game. And I feel like that was a mistake. Letting you take here is not a big deal. I can take back. And you still have this backwards pawn to deal with. I do too, so it's even. But I feel like I should have challenged your knight. That's one idea. My other idea is to let's go. I'm gonna start bringing this guy in, and I want to disrupt your king because it's still difficult. Though you have a few more squares now, all of my pieces are over there, and I'm gonna be able to move my king and get a rook on this file, and it's gonna be tough to deal with. Especially if I can get this in and this in and this. Yeah, it's tough. So I think if I can even delay that, I don't have to do it now. I could wait. I think that this was probably a potential way to go. Whoopsies. I feel like that would have been a better try as well now that I'm looking at it. Even if you don't do anything, we just takes and takes. Okay, what did you gain? An open file, which doesn't really matter much. I can lock it down. You can try. This is slow, but I mean, it's a try, but okay. That takes a lot of time, and I have 2 or 3 moves to go kind of continue on my plan. All this stuff's pointing this way. Yeah. I think breakthrough on the king side is faster. Even if you do break through, I can kind of almost ignore some of it, right? Yeah, so I feel like your b5 move was I made a complete error here, and just a distraction. You know, I'm trying to deal with this stuff when I don't even need to. I should have still just been focused on the king side. And yeah. I took this off, which I probably shouldn't have. I should have just left it there. I just kind of liquidated down for no reason. Yeah, and at this point, I'm like, oh, well, I think I've lost any advantage that I had. And now it's, I thought maybe I could gain control of the C file, but it's really difficult. You've got all your pieces right there. So I switched plans and started playing on the queen side when I should have just been playing on the king side. So yeah, I let you off on this one, I think. And then it just kind of ended. there's not really a way to progress. You know, all your pawns are on black squares with your dark squared bishop. All mine are on light squares, and there's not really a way to progress. Um, I don't even know. I don't know what it would be evaluation wise here, but I can't imagine it's sided one way or the other very much. Maybe point 3 or 4 to one side or the other. I don't know who it would be, but um, yeah, I think trying to start playing on the queen side was a mistake, and trading some pieces off in the center was also a mistake. I think here it's probably still a game for white. It would be slow, but possible. King h2? Yeah, with the idea of bringing the rooks onto the open file. It's slow, but this is a position to play slowly, right? Um, I'm sure the engines don't like closed positions. They really don't, which is why I like playing them. um, it's hard to develop plans in these positions. That's another reason why I really like them, because I feel like I'm pretty good at maneuvering. This game I didn't play very well to maneuver properly. When I mean, you look at it now and you're like, oh, this is a half open file on the king, and you really only have 2 pieces to defend, a potential for a third. And oh, the end. Oh, you're talking about all the way at the end. Oh, oh yeah, I did look at this and it's like, oh yeah, I was thinking that this was more like drawn, but it is like 1.8 or something, but it's like some crazy line where you're supposed to like it's like 100 moves. It's like 40 or 50 moves to try for an advantage. And I figured that's not happening. Um all the while I have to keep an eye on you coming in here, which I wasn't sure how to best deal with. So, yeah. Now, if we go back, I don't wonder. I'm curious what the evaluation is here. I'd have to look at it on Lichess. Because I feel like this is right now. This is probably winning for white. Yeah, yeah. There's still chances. +3. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I just have full control, and you can't really stop it because this is like stuck. This pawn right here, and yeah, I just have to play it slow, and be fine with playing slowly. But yeah, I mean, it was a really good game, and it was my game to lose for sure. And I gave it to, I allowed you to get a draw. But yeah, playing, looking at it from right here. No, that's not what we want. Delete that move. Looking at it from right here, it's really easy to take a draw. I mean, how much time was left? Round 4. I'm 2-3, 2-1. So I'm feeling really good about how I'm playing at this point. And yeah, I mean, I had 30 minutes and you had 40 minutes at the end here. So, like, trying to figure this position out in 30 minutes is like, had I had an hour, yeah, I might have played on, but yeah, I I don't see a way to go through. I mean, engines can see this stuff, yeah, but back here would have been better. Yeah, taking the knight was probably a mistake. Giving the ability to sack on h6 was probably good. And the ideas of bringing the rooks in, I think, is the right plan. Just this kind of move. Getting these pieces out of the way. Going after the knight, getting the bishop here, and then the queen and the bishop coming in. Yeah, I mean, that's really, really hard to stop. Plus this pawn just marching down. Harry the H pawn's going to be the victor. But good game. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot from this game as an English player, and it's been very helpful. But yeah, good game, man. I enjoyed playing it.